given Ravelo's fast hands, at least from what we've seen of his fights, and he's only had 11, he's got them. So he could look for that opening with the big right hand, but if he keeps that jab in Walton's face, he's going to make it difficult for George to make it an inside fight. There we see Walton trying to come in low, get some leverage. He's a much shorter guy here and fighting lower. Ravelo walks into a right hand there.
Ravelo's jab thus far not much of a factor, although it doesn't even have to land to be effective. If it just can keep Walton at a nice distance, he can follow with the right hand.
Walton, his strategy, smother Ravelo, stay on his chest. First, Steve, you got to get there without paying too big a price. That means you got to take risks. But not in the first round, I would think.
It makes sense that these two would be respectful of each other. They sparred only a few months ago, for several days actually. Ravelo said he had the flu and Walton got the better of it. Walton barely remembered it. They also fought as amateurs, and Ravelo got stopped by Walton in a New York, New Jersey amateur meet.
And here's where Ravelo does not want to be. He feels that Walton's dangerous only when he's got a guy in the corner or an opponent against the ropes. Keep the fight in the middle of the ring, but it's Ravelo not jabbing and taking another right hand.
No, the shorter guy's out jabbing the taller guy right now.
Jerson Ravelo is unbeaten in the red, white, and blue. It's once beaten George Walton, trying to bounce back from the only loss of his professional career. Now they exchange jabs, and there's the first body shot by Ravelo. Inside 10 seconds in round number 1. Lead right by Ravelo.
Ravelo's been off 6 months. He might need a round or two to get his rhythm.
And Mark Breland again in the red corner, taking charge of Jerson Ravelo. Let's listen in.
Just a little bit aggressive with your jab. Just a little bit more aggressive with your jab. Step, a little bit more step into it with the jab. Just walking, just follow right behind you. You're gonna catch him coming in.
Right. So you gotta get you gotta get close enough to get your hands off, G. Work that jab. That jab is good, but I don't want you standing straight up with your jab. When you throw the jab, step. When you throw the jab, step in. Kill the distance, all right? Don't throw the jab and pull out. Don't throw the jab and pull out. All right?
All right.
Good jab. Let's go around. All right, baby? Okay. That's good. You think, yeah, pop, pop, right on. Boom, boom. You throwing slow jab. Pop, pop, pop.
Good instructions in both corners. Not too much, Steve. Ravelo, jab with more authority from Mark Breland. And then you'll find some openings. Get this guy lunging. And for George Walton, close the distance behind your jab.
And what a perfect trainer Mark Breland is for Ravelo, because Breland was a tall welterweight.
Great point.
You know, much taller than most welterweights. Ravelo at 6'2" is much taller than most super middleweights. So Breland can teach Ravelo how to fight tall.
And now it's Ravelo moving that jab with intent in round number 2. And Walton has Ravelo trapped against the ropes, and he'll clutch him and wait for the referee. Ravelo teeing off now, catching Walton cleanly, but Walton with a nice counter right hand. Walton muscling Ravelo in to the ropes. Ravelo could make 160 according to his management, but so neither of these guys bulk up much beyond the 165 that they were contracted to fight. So even walking around, they're not much heavier than that, so perhaps the strength factor is neutralized.
I wonder if Ravelo is a little bit overemphasizing keeping a distance, because right now Walton's getting off first, the only way to put it.
There's Ravelo with a jab right hand and then a hook. Walton trying to move in behind that jab and again close the distance. He looks awkward there with an air ball. Solid 1-2 from Ravelo. He'll back up and take a jab from Walton, who doesn't follow up. Halfway through round number 2 here. It's scheduled for 8. Jerson Ravelo of Newark, New Jersey.
Referee taking Brian Gary, good local referee, taking good control, because Hey, if Walton has his way, he's going to be a little rough on the inside. I mean, the guy's 5'7½". What's he supposed to do? That's his fight.
He's got to get underneath everybody, but again, he wants to be close. He has to be close.
Keep circling, Jerson. Off the ropes.
Ravelo against the ropes with a minute left and gets clocked by a little right hand, comes back with a left of his own. Ravelo backing up, not in the middle of the ring, and now he'll push Walton there.
Yeah, Walton with a good right hand, the big shots. Ravelo's going to have to answer with his own right hand at some point to gain Walton's respect.
Off the ropes. Back to the center.
These are super middleweights. Fighting at a pretty good clip and a nice exchange here. Ravelo's back is against the ropes in front of us. 20 seconds to go in round 2. An 8-rounder. Jab by Walton, but he couldn't follow up.
Ravelo starting to let the right hand go. It'll make all the difference because if Walton has something to think about, he won't rush in as much.
That'll do it for round 2 as we go to the corners.
Sit down. Sit down, baby. Stop. How you feel? How you feel? Listen, every punch, you don't have to load up with every punch, dude. Set them up. Control your breathing. Set them up. Touch them, and then load it up. See, right now you load up with every punch. That's why you're off balance. Because you're trying to load up with bad intentions with every punch. You don't have to do it with every punch. It's going to be there for you. When it's there for you, then you take
George Walton has to get close. Jumps in there. That's a nice counter punch by Ravelo. Anytime you lunge, you're going to leave yourself open because you're off balance. Both of them land there. I tell you, that second round was action-packed. And that deserved a warning because you saw the referee clearly break them. Walton with a left hook after that break command.
Brian, Gary, the referee caught that well. Steve, what can Walton do to be a little bit more elusive and not eat punches coming in? He's got to take risks, of course.
Oh, yeah, he does. And you know, he started in the first round jabbing his way in. You see the jab there. That's the best way to come in. Best way to back your opponent up, which he needs to do.
Let's see if Ravelo has the jab pumping. There he tried flurrying to the body. Not much body shots here. Nothing from Ravelo. He's thrown one in this fight as we're in round 3. Overhand right, and Ravelo lands and then darts out of danger.
That's it, baby. Back to the center.
Hard for Ravelo to do too much to the body. Not much body to hit on Walton. He's only 5'7½".
Walton landed a good right there. Ravelo flurries back at him.
You know, Nick, as is often the case in fights, what Ravelo should do isn't necessarily what we as fans want to see him do. He is a fighter by nature. Even though he's tall and he should be boxing, at some point, and maybe that point has already come, he's going to get into a fight here because that's his nature. He likes to knock people out. Right now, he's trading.
And there we see a flurry by Ravelo landing to the chin. Both sides of the face of George Walton, who steps back and launches his assault again. Stiff left hand from Walton. But can't follow with anything. Ravelo keeping his distance. Now it's Walton getting off first, again and again.
Boy, that jab, timing, a jab works because of timing and distance. And Walton using it beautifully.
Walton with a counter to the body. Ravelo turned and caught that one on the backside.
Way to box, kid. Keep on the end of that jab.
I know it's only the third round, but there's an easy way for us to determine whether Walton is getting tired. Is he standing straight up the whole time when he's coming in? If he bends, as he did first 2 rounds, he's still in great shape. If he comes in straight up, he's going to get hit. Yeah, it needs to bob and weave.
All right, great.
Is Ravelo doing enough, though? It's very early. Again, this is an 8-rounder, so it's not that early.
I got you, fellas. No punch.
Well, one thing he's doing that he didn't do in the first round, which he lost on my card, is he's letting his right hand go. You know, his jab is certainly not dominating this fight. He's letting his right hand go behind the jab, and that's definitely going to be the key if he can hurt Walton.
Do you agree his jab should be dominating?
It's hard if Walton comes in bobbing and weaving.
Keep it up, George.
If Walton jabs by himself, it makes Ravelo's jab that much less effective.
There's the jab from Ravelo. 3 rounds in the bank here in Tampa. Here's an invitation to visit our website at show.com. There you can find stats, columns, and take part in our weekly interactive polls. Last week we asked, what's been the best Showtime fight this year? 56% chose the hotly contested unification title fight between Yoel Casamayor and Acelino Freitas. The stunning upset of Francisco Bojado by Juan Rubio took 19%. 17% voted for the heavyweight battle between the Black Rhino and the White Buffalo, while 8% liked Joe Calzaghe's win over Charles Brewer. Log on and cast your vote in this week's poll. The question, if Kostya Tszyu defeats Jesse James Leija January 18th, who should he face next? The choices, former IBF champ Zab Judah, the winner of the Sharmba Mitchell-Vince Phillips fight, the exciting Ricky Hatton, or WBO champ DeMarcus